What actually 100% lived up to the hype? Neighbors chili. Moved in and everybody wouldn't shut up about this guy's chili. To the point it was annoying to hear about. The first cold day that fall I had it. Holy shit, now I won't shut up about it. There was a story on Reddit a long time ago where someone was praised for their cooking by their friends all the time. Their secret? Glutamate. There's so much unwarranted hate for MSG. But it's basically just savory salt and can easily bring a dish from a 6 to 7 to a 10. ETA, there are definitely people who will inevitably be affected by MSG, and I don't mean to minimize that. MSG can be a trigger for migraines and allergic reactions as much as anything else. What I mean is that those reactions aren't nearly as common as they're made out to be. That's my secret too. People think it's some dangerous substance. But it's in almost every yummy prepackaged or fast food you love for a reason. Having your own place to live without roommates. Bruh, I so cannot wait for this. Loud and messy roommates or housemates are annoying. I live alone. And I gotta say, it's awesome. But without any incentive to clean or organize, things get messy quick. It's about time I get my own place. Now I need to figure out how to break it to my wife and kids. Seeing the Milky Way for the first time. Blew my mind, what many don't see because of city lights. As a country kid, it blew my mind to realize that many city folk have never properly seen a starry night. I live way up in Red Rock north of Reno. And it's surprising how many people haven't fully seen the Milky Way. Or see Mars and Jupiter clearly. Divorcing a terrible person. The sense of relief, freedom and having my old self back again cannot be expressed in words. I would marry her all over again and divorce her just to experience that feeling again. This post needs to be at the top for this sentence alone. Both Hubble and Kepler space telescopes. Deep field images showing thousands of galaxies in just a tiny patch of sky, and the discovery of thousands of exoplanets that are so different from planets in our own solar system. What better could astronomers hope to find up there? The HST in particular is something else. It has greatly outlived its expected service time and brings us amazing pictures to this day. I hope the JWST can be that great if it ever gets up there. First time I loaded up Google Earth on a tablet, I knew I had officially reached living in the future status. Try loading it up in VR. It's this, but on steroids. I showed this to my grandfather and he spent an hour in it. I took him to the Grand Canyon and all the way through it, as well as the house he grew up in and the house he used to live in, and some places he traveled to when he was younger. If you have one and have the chance, show it to older relatives, it'll make them really happy. Growing up in the big city, or what we'd consider to be one out here, I had never had an interest in nature or outside. One day after school, my parents arrived as usual. What was unusual was the fully packed car. Understanding hits me like a truck. Camping. Oh no, not a plushy electric camping experience, my father confirms. We're going to Botswana. The true great outdoors. I sulk, of course. All the way there. We get to, well, wherever we were. Set up camp and I jumped straight in my tent to continue my pity party. Some hours later and my parents still haven't lit a fire. I can hear their voices faintly. Upset. But more because of their disregard for my tantrum. I emerge from the tent and all thoughts of my remarks disappear. The sight that greets me is, for lack of a better word, awesome. Stars. More than I thought possible. They covered every inch of my vision from one horizon to the other behind me. Between the blanket of stars, nebulae of every color are visible. My father laughs at my expression as I desperately crane my neck to see it all. Let me tell you folks, perfectly dark night sky 100% lives up to the hype. I remember having this experience at a school camp. I was hoping my daughter would get the same experience. But the camps now seem to go to other cities. Which is sad. And also concerning as it means I might have to take her camping grimacing face. Therapy. Yeah, that's sappy as hell. But it made me feel a lot better. Still working on myself. But my psychologist is a saint and she does all she can to help. I love this. I finally started seeing a therapist after being in denial of my depression for over a year, and the right one makes all the difference. Therapy is something everyone should try, I think. You never know what good can come out of it. Into the Spider-Verse. As a 37-year-old comic fan, it made me happy to live in this version of reality. Something about Spider-Verse feels like it's gonna be timeless in a way that the MCU is not. Can't put my finger on it. Being healthy. It feels so good to feel good. I thought I would hate cutting out soda and junk food because they taste so good and made me happy. But I was so heavy. Knee pain. Couldn't sleep. Miserable most of the time. Now it's normal to just feel good. It's actually crazy to think I lived like that for so long. It's worth it to put the effort into your health. Who cares if it takes a long time? You'll thank yourself. A quote that's always stuck with me is, "You have no idea how good your body is designed to make you feel." Dungeons and Dragons. I lived with a friend at university who, back in the days of 3.5e, would suggest every weekend that we played a game. I had no interest in spending my Saturday afternoons pretending to be an elf or whatever the fuck you were supposed to do when you played. No. Thank you. Then I actually tried it a year or two ago. And it's dope. Sit around with friends. Talk some shit. Eat some cheese. Drink some beers. Kill some imaginary goblins. With 3 months I was DMing. And now I have more dice than I know what to do with and a folder on my desktop devoted to all the games I know I'm never going to get around to playing. All because adult scheduling is the true BBEG. Yeah, I really want to get into it, but I don't know anyone else who plays and it looks so fun. Visiting Japan. Used to be kind of a weeb when I was a teen, but that phase died out when I grew into my 20s. My so and I planned a trip to see my brother and his Japanese GF just to stay in touch, even though I would have rather loved to see Florence or Marrakesh instead, but boy oh boy was I wrong. Japan really brought the kid inside me out again. Wife and I went for our 10 years anniversary. Man, it well exceeded my expectations. Amazing food. Cool concepts. Friendly people. We went for 2.5 weeks and visited 5 different cities. Already planning on making a return trip. Weighted blanket. I've never slept so well. It adds enough weight to be comforting. But it vents heat well so you don't overheat. Hell yeah. I got one last month and I sleep better than ever. It's amazing. Personally. Sex. Teenager me would be both surprised and disappointed at current me for not having a lot more sex with my girlfriend. Back then it was inconceivable that one would not have sex all the time it was possible. But I'm old and tired now. Antibiotics. Thanks Sir Alexander Fleming. Mr. Selman Abraham Waxman. Holopia. The numerous men of bacterial culture. And of course Sir Louis Pasteur. On that same note, vaccines. It's pretty badass not getting polio. The Instant Pot, at least for me. I use that thing all the time. Totally worth every cent, and I turned my family onto the Instant Pot as well. Love my Instant Pot too. I got one sent from the UK to the USA so it could be shipped to me in Australia by my family. I hadn't tried one yet, but it 100% lived up to my expectations and exceeded them entirely. Flash forward a year, fires all around our area. I decide to pack the car with suitcase and anything I wouldn't want to lose, be without. Photos. Passport. Birth cert. Instant Pot. Putting in a frozen lump of meat without defrosting and 45 minutes later coming back to a perfect slow-cook-like meal is revolutionary. Then to keep it at perfect temp until you're ready to eat it, then the whole thing can be put in the dishwasher once done. Raving. Flex tape. Flex seal. Flex glue. Etc. Weird flex. But okay. Sonic redesign. The Sonic redesign is so hot. Bidet. Ass sploosher. So far. The Mandalorian. Yes. The Mandalorian is so good. I didn't know what to expect. But so far it has exceeded my expectations. I didn't expect that ending to the first episode. So I'm intrigued of where they're going with it. The Nintendo Switch. I hadn't bought a Nintendo system since the GameCube. I wasn't thrilled about the Wii or the Wii U. So I was hesitant to buy into Nintendo's new system when it was announced. I bought it and was 100% back as a Nintendo fanboy. That system is fantastic. The fact that it is both portable and a home console is amazing to me. And yes, it is underpowered compared to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But it makes up for it in its versatility. Also, I can turn it off instantly and come back to exactly where I left off. Brilliant. Came here to say this. I debated buying it, but I'm such a Zelda fan that I had to. Even then, I swore that I'd never play it handheld. It's not a Game Boy and I don't need to play it away from the TV, said I'd never leave the house with it, wrong. So wrong. We have so many games now and we spend just about every game night with friends convincing them to try Mario Party with us and we have a 100% success rate so far. 3 different couples bought one after trying ours, haha. Nintendo needs to be cutting me a commission check at this point. Also, bought W is even better than expected.